Good morning, everybody. Another gloriously sunny day, but it's going to be very, very hot. On a driveway clean today. I do apologise my shiny appearance. I've just lathered myself up with factor 50 sun cream because the sun is just too much. I actually cleaned the roof of this property about 5-6 weeks ago. I didn't record it. I don't actually know why, because it was quite a good transformation. The roof had lots of black streaks. I think that's what it was. There was hardly any moss on it. It was just covered in a lot of black and sort of yellow and white lichen. So it wasn't an amazing transformation, but it was definitely a big transformation. And actually now, in hindsight, I wish I'd have recorded it, but hey ho, that's just the way it is. But anyway, let me show you the driveway. A very big block paved driveway to clean today. Really mossy around the edges. These curbs are covered in lichen, black and white. This is Indian sandstone. This is definitely getting clean. I mean, it's looking bad, eh? Pointing is shot. I have quoted to do the pointing. They're mulling it over. They just want to see what it's going to look like once it's been cleaned, and then they're going to make their decision. But I think they're probably going to go for it, but hey ho, I could be wrong. Okay, so there's some black spot clearly. So yeah, look, it's a pretty big drive, hey? We'll get all this done today. Around there as well, where the bins are. Probably, I haven't measured it, but it's probably around a couple of 100 square metres, give or take. Very mossy along this section, in the middle where the tyres don't drive on. Very mossy along here. So yeah, all the curbs are being done as well. The major downside to this one is, I don't know if you've noticed as I was walking around, no drainage. Right guys, so we've got the builders in. They're having a lot of work doing to this property. I don't think they've been here long, probably a couple of months. They're having a lot of work done, and I'm just part of that ongoing work. So anyway, sorry, what I was saying was the drainage here is terrible. There are no drainage channels at all, so this is a problem. What I noticed when I was doing the roof, see I cleaned this, and then I disconnect the down pipes and it all just goes on the floor. It all pools here. Luckily it's really warm, so it's going to evaporate and it's probably going to soak away quite quickly, but I've got a feeling I'm probably going to have to sort out a big puddle of water before I can get the treatment on, and then ultimately wait for it to dry to get the sand back in. But I tried to look for my mud sucker. I could not find it for love nor money. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Right, so look, like I said, I'm concentrating on the driveway today, but I'm going to be back tomorrow to do the paving, so I'll do a walkabout with that. So there's all that bit there, all this bit here, and then there's loads around the back. I'll show you that tomorrow. Anyway, let's get cracking, because it's going to be a long old day. that out. It just beggars belief, doesn't it? It's just unbelievable. It just sort of makes you wonder, like, what... I mean, this driveway wouldn't have been cheap. It looks like it's been laid pretty well. Apart from that, I mean, where's the drainage? It doesn't even look as if they've made an effort to slope it down to the road or into the bushes or anything like that. It literally dips there. It's like they've done it, they've actually designed it thinking, well, we'll put a drainage channel there, and then actually got to the end and be like, nah, we won't bother. Shocking. Anyway, we carry on. My oh my, look at the size of that puddle. Absolutely crazy. God knows what it's going to be like when they have heavy rain. It obviously must do that. But what I've realised is from about here onwards, it goes that way. So all I've got to do, I mean, yeah, it's grass and it's going to make me sweat, especially in this heat, but I've just got to sweep that water up to here. That is definitely doable. I'm going to get hot and sweaty, but hey. But look, I'm going to get the rest of the driveway done. Hopefully some of that will have soaked away by then. And yeah, we'll see. reconsidered what I'm going to do with that pool of water down there, because it's pooling down here as well, which is where I was going to push it. So it pools all along here. I splashed a lot of it off into the bushes. You can see a lot of the water's gone over onto this gravel bit, and some of it's spilt into the road, which is not really ideal. Rather keep it contained within the area I'm cleaning. So yeah, I'm going to push this to there because it drops there. I'm going to be cleaning that tomorrow. I can sort that out tomorrow, it's not a problem. I need to get this in cleaned, treated, dried and sanded today because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Oh God, I really do regret not bringing my gutter back today. I knew there was a dip there. What was I thinking? Oh well, done now. Let's get this chemical on. Alright guys, that's me done for today. So I'll be back tomorrow to start the patio. That looks like it's going to come up lovely. It's got some beautiful colours in it, absolutely beautiful sandstone. So yeah, looking forward to making that looking lovely. Yeah, this has come up okay. I mean, there's the odd little mark dotted around, like it looks, I don't know what it is, I've never seen anything like it. It looks like some of the blocks have had some damage to them, and then they've been filled in with some sort of dark coloured sort of putty. But it just doesn't look very good. But anyway, look, let me turn you around. So yeah, looking pretty good. This is a massive driveway. I underestimated this one. It's actually, it's got to be at least a couple of 100 square meters, maybe more. I'll see you in the morning. We'll get that patio looking lovely for her. Right, been a long day. I'll see you in the morning. Morning. Day 2 of this quite large patio and driveway clean. Excuse me, sorry, I'm walking away from what I'm going to show you, so let me turn you around. That's my, I'll tell you what, if I ever get some t-shirts made up, I'm going to have one saying, let me turn you around. I pretty much say that every video to you, don't I? Anyway, right. So as well, right, so I say that a lot too, anyway, and that anyway. Right then, there's today's job. Indian sandstone. I thought the pointing was completely shot, and I did quote to repoint it, but now I'm looking at it, I actually think a lot of it's intact. And the price was not to actually remove the old stuff, it was because I thought it was all gone. So if they did want it doing, I'm going to have to re-quote it, because it would all need grinding out, and I don't want to do that. I'll have to hire someone in. Anyway, right, so, okay, there's the paving. This bit, I mean, it's pretty bad, look how it's very neglected. I think I mentioned this yesterday, the customer has only lived here for about 3 or 4 months. They've got masses of work going on, the builders here constantly. I'm just part of many trades that turn up every day to do stuff, so it's because it's a lovely house, but they sort of neglected it a bit, and there's a lot of work that needs doing, driveway and patio being one of them. So yeah, just a lovely patio like this got neglected. I mean, this would have cost many thousands to lay. It's amazing how people just let things go, but anyway, that's just what people do. So there's that. This was the best, save the best till last. Look at that, oh my lord, moss heaven down the joints, it's everywhere. Yeah, lichen, white lichen, black spot. Oh, this bit over here is a mess, so I'm going to have to shovel all that up. Okay, that's the job. It's going to be another long hard day. One thing I wanted to show, we have a pond. So customer says they haven't seen any fish, so they weren't too concerned about the sodium hypochlorite, but I've seen fish swimming around. In fact, there's one right now. Yep, it's disappeared, but I can see plenty of pond skaters. There's plenty of life in there. I don't want to harm it. There is like a border here which separates it, a soil border, and the ground does slope towards that way. It slopes away from the pond, so it is manageable. I've just got to be very careful. And because I myself have pond fish. I love fish, I've always had fish. When you do water changes, there are products available to dechlorinate the water. So I have some of that. So what I'm going to do is there's a fish. That's gone. I am going to just pour a load of this dechlorinated stuff in afterwards. And the good stuff about it is that you can't overdose it. So I'm just going to chuck, I think I've got half a bottle left. And I'm almost certain that that will counteract any tiny amounts of hypo that might fall in there or land in there. There's the fish. There. You can see right there. I think there's only maybe 3 or 4 of them in there. But look, I don't want to harm them. Anyway, let's get cracking. Ordinarily I would just carry on with the flat surface cleaning because this is where I'm up to. It's saying it's going to rain. The weather app's saying it's going to rain. It only says light rain, but because I need to get the hypo onto the sandstone and be as effective as possible without being diluted by the rain, I'm going to do the hypo treatment on the sandstone now. And while that's sitting there doing its thing, I'll make a start on this section. This is concrete, so these are going to come up much easier. The hypo will, the black spots will come up much easier regardless of whether it's a bit wet or raining. It's the sandstone that's the hard one, so that's what I think I'm going to do. Like I say, normally I wouldn't do that. If it wasn't going to rain, I'd just crack on with the whole clean and do all the chemical treatment in one go, but I think I'm taking a gamble if I don't. I think it's a gamble if I don't get this treated now, because I want to get it spotless, like literally spotless. So Yeah. Do you know what? I've cleaned thousands of Indian sandstone patios over the years, but it's very rare that you come across ones as pretty as this. Look at this. Look how colourful that is. I mean, yeah, it's covered in spots. My lord, that's pretty, isn't it? Less colourful along here. But round here, wow. I mean, look at these. By the way, these aren't fossils. I can't remember what they're called. They have a name. It evades me. But it's caused when they split the rock open. It's a chemical reaction with the oxygen hitting something on it within the rock, whatever chemicals are within the rock, and as soon as, or is it, hang on, I think it might be water getting in and the oxygen or whatever, or the water causing it to react. It's something like that. I can't quite remember. I did know this, but I can't remember. But they're definitely not fossils, that's for sure. Wow, what are they called? They're called ubadubs. Anyway, right, so thing is, sorry, getting back to the patio, if I can't get that looking amazing and remove all the black spot, that's going to be criminal. It needs to, I need to get rid of the spots off this and do the actual stone the justice it deserves, because that will come up amazing. Yes, the pointing shot and that needs sorting out, but the stone itself is absolutely amazing. I don't bloody Adam and Eve it. So there's loads of spots left. Well, not loads, but there's definitely, I'd say I'm about 80% gone. You know me, I like to get more than that, at least 90. So I was going to go over it neat with a bucket and brush to get those last sort of stubborn areas. But so what I do is I use those soft caravan cleaning brushes, you know, the soft caravan car, anything. I use one of them, and they interchange with the B&Q orange brushes that we all use. Pretty much every single exterior cleaner has one of these. So all you do is you unscrew the top and put the soft brush on. But that's completely and utterly mullered, as you can see. So I don't have a brush. Absolutely gutted. I'm just going to go over this again 50-50, and possibly again after that, and possibly again after that. It's nearly 5 o'clock. This is a very long day, but let's see. I'm going to put 50-50 on, see what that does. nearly 6:30. This has been one hell of a day. So I don't think anything went in the fish pond, but just in case, I'm going to put this in. So just so you can see, I can't read that because I ain't got my glasses on, but I think it says something about, actually no I can, makes tap water safe, removes chlorine and chloramines, detoxes heavy metals. So I'm going to pull the whole thing in and they should be fine. It's starting to rain as well, so that'll dilute it down. There you go. I'm sure they'll be fine. Right, let's have a quick walk about. Right, I'm gutted basically. I'm disappointed in myself, because I haven't been able to remove as many black spots as I'd liked. I mean, I would say about 80%. What's so annoying is that I know if I was able to go at this neat with my brush, I could have got more off. So I'm not happy. I'm really frustrated. I just don't. There's nothing I could do. So I've gone 3 treatments, 50/50, which is what, 7.5%. Really good, fresh, strong hypo. So let me turn you around. I mean, it still looks good, but it doesn't look as good as it could, I don't think, anyway. So you've got some spots here left, spots up there, there's a few dotted about around here, but hey, it looks pretty good. So colourful. I may come back another time and spray some more hypo on it, because that's how unhappy I am with it. This is the front. Got lots of spots still around some of these, so yeah, disappointed to say the least. But look, it's that's quite nice. That's come up okay. These aren't the most attractive slabs, I must say, but yeah. Okay, well, look, the customer is absolutely over the moon. She said it's come up better than she expected, so there is that. It's just when you know you could have done better, it's just so disappointing. I know it looks pretty good, but I know it could have looked better if I'd just had my brush. Oh, anyway, look, it's 6:30. I'm knackered and I'm going home. So look, thanks for watching, guys. This has been a massive one, really tough one. And if you could hit that like, hit that subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. It'd really help me out. And I'll hopefully see you next time. Cheers, guys.